And like you said, this is Diddy.
Right.
You know, it's Diddy. This is Landon's favorite part right here. He could get whatever girl he wants.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now she's making these accusations. So he's watched these men with big black penises to come over here. She's talking about the videos. Now, in your experience with him, you know what I mean? In your experience with him, is she going a little crazy saying that, you know, he's got the little fruitiness in him? Allegedly. He's got the fruity genes? Allegedly.
Allegedly. I'm going to be honest with you. I've never seen nothing of that nature, right? But a freak, I would say he's definitely a freak. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen any homosexual activity of no way, form, or fashion. But I have seen things that would make you question things. You know, like I heard Gene say something about going into the sex store and buying certain things. Yeah, I witnessed that. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? I witnessed going into the sex store, going into the Hustler on Sunset and buying different things. But when a person buys things of that nature, I'm automatically thinking they going to freak off with their girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As far as different men having, of course he's not going to let you see that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
But the stories are out there that it's out in the open, right? Like that, there's some wild stories out there.
I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Which again, allegedly, right? But I feel like people do want to tear him down. You know what I mean? Like I heard some wild stories. I heard he had like
we all heard that.
Yeah. You know
but then come on, I want to hear what you heard.
I mean, I heard that he had bent over, you know what
allegedly.
I'm saying? Like, allegedly, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying I heard some wild shit where I'm like, for me, that shit's unbelievable.
Now I'm gonna tell you the truth. His was really tight.
Pause.
Pause. We ended up even getting cool and getting tight. We used to go to his crib. He had a penthouse on 74th in Park West. But I've never seen anything that was out of the ordinary with them. You know what I'm saying? And I hear a lot of stuff about these parties and everything, right? I've been to every single party from 2003 to 2012, and I've never seen no homosexual activity in no type of way. Yeah, do people be talking and touching certain ways? Yeah, but not in a homosexual way. If you ever been on ecstasy, you know that people get touchy, but I've never seen no actual homosexual activity.
Yeah, and I think that's important that you say that because that's it's very like far-fetched. And the stories that people come up with is wild. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to believe it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, I'm sitting here thinking like all these stories that keep popping up, I'm like, Jesus.
But then you got to think: is it for the views? Is it to take them down? Is it to say something else? Because I find it kind of funny that with the world that we live in now, that hasn't no man stepped up and said, "Yo, yeah, I him." When we living in this world, quote unquote, where it's okay to be gay and say different things like that, where NDAs are involved, but as long as it's a legal activity, NDAs doesn't count. I feel like for the money that somebody would have stepped up. You know what I'm saying? So I find that part kind of funny, but when you're dealing with social media, if you're dealing with the internet, people could come up with so many things.
Yeah, because they take something and twist it, right? Like you had the Justin Bieber story where he's got the interview with Justin Bieber. He said he adopted him, right? And then he's with him for, I don't know how.
This OB media, Roger Bonds goes crazy, and he said that Diddy is definitely a freak. This ninja was wild. He was getting guys on Backpage with BBC so that they can bang his chick while they watch, and he be directing this shit and be telling ninjas where to nut so that he can rub that shit on his nipples. Man, Diddy is definitely a word type of dude, man. He's doing all type of homosexual activities at his house and at his parties. These ninjas be doing some dirty shit, man. Some gay-ass queers. This shit just weird to me, man. But it is what it is, man. You need to watch a full video. Let's get it.
How long he actually, or if he actually adopted him. But they're like, you know, in the video, he looks kind of nervous. Maybe Diddy was taking advantage of him. And
no, I was actually there that day. We was in Miami, And you talking about the day that he was showing the Lamborghini and everything, and he was saying, "Nah, actually, Scooter Brown brought him over that day, and he was outside, and he was just like telling Justin, like, yo, this is what you can have,' because at this time Justin couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, this is what you can have. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't no thing where he spent the night or he stayed the night or nothing like that. They took a 2-hour visit and just made it crazy. But it was just basically a 2-hour visit. And then Justin Bieber actually became really, really close friends with his other son, Quincy, because they lived really close to each other. So that part, you know, it was just...
So I think that part, right, like people forget that Diddy is a dad. Right. So at that time, Justin Bieber is just a child. So he could have very well just been playing the dad role.
Right. It was one of those things where they just brought him over and they wanted him to see what it could be. Because at the end of the day, he's Diddy. I think at this time, he might have been about 24, 25. And to have these type of things at this age, it's more or less, I've seen the dudes from what you call it? I forgot their name, but Herman, Tamar Braxton's husband had them. He brought them over. You know what I'm saying? They stayed over for a couple of hours.
For like the B2K kids or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
He brought them over. If it wasn't, who he had after B2K? It might have been B2K.
Yeah, because I think before that was Immature, then it was B2K.
Okay, so but there's also like B3, like Michael Jackson's sons or whatever.
No, I don't think so. I don't
it was somebody Herb brought over.
I know he
B3, brought him over.
I don't know about the other one, B3.
So people used to bring him over just to get his okay. Yo, what you think? You think, yo, I think they need to do, because like I said, genius-wise, he's going to tell you how to market it. He's going to tell you what, he just does that. Yo, you need to do this, you need to do that. I've been there where Lil Wayne's called and asked him, yo, I need some advice on this, that, and the other, and he gives them advice. That's one thing. And that's what makes me even madder about the situation, is because I see the things that you do for other people. So when my son got into this situation, I took him to Rikers Island to see Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? I had to wait across the bridge in the car. He got on the bus to go see Lil Wayne at Rikers Island. So it's like, when I see you going this far for other people, and it ain't even about me no more. I don't care if I don't have nothing. Everything was supposed, I don't care if we not speaking. Everything was, which we was speaking, because I was still over at Ciroc and I was over at De Leon all the way up to the situation between him and Diageo just now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
So you split from him when completely, like cut ties with him? When's the last time you spoke to Diddy? That you said that enough is enough?
I spoke to Diddy 3 weeks ago.
Damn.
I spoke to 3 weeks ago. And one of the things that this conversation that hurt me was, I had asked him, I said, yo, I need $25,000 for my son appeal. And he hit me and said, yo, I'm going through something. I don't have it. And then he hit me back and said, but I may need your help. So I'm thinking, okay, we getting ready to squash this thing with Diageo. Okay, we getting ready to take this De Leon to another level. Right. But then the next morning, everybody's hitting my phone. Yo, you know Cassie got you in a lawsuit. So when he said, I need your help, he already knew that my name was in that lawsuit. I just never knew.
Right.
He knew for months that my name was in that lawsuit, but he didn't know how him asking me for help would come. But when I reached out to him and asked him for that money, I opened the door. I said, yo, listen. I said, yo, my exact words was this. I said, yo, I need $25,000 for my son appeal. He hit me back, said, yo, I'm going through something. I don't have it right now. He said, I may need your help. I said, okay, you know what it is. It's love and loyalty. And then he sent me the love sign. But when the next morning came and I seen the Cassie situation, I called him. And he was like, yo, B, I'm happy you gonna speak your truth. You know what I'm saying? But not once did he mention anything about my son. So once again, it brought me back to the Diddy that I know. Even though you're going through X, Y, Z, so I try to say, God damn, he done got hit with all these lawsuits. The last thing he thinking about me. But for you not to even ask about my son lets me know, Bonds, it's time to wake up. You gonna be loyal to a fault again? Here you go again, but your son is in the same situation. He said, yo, I know you're going through a lot. That pressure's killing you. Yeah, that pressure's killing me. But you ain't mentioned nothing about this.
You feel
pressure.
like his back was a little bit against the wall and he was looking for a friend?
If he was, he wouldn't say it. I feel like the only friend that Diddy actually really had was Andre Harrell. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when Andre Harrell passed that he had no other friend. You got a lot of people that want to be his friend, but he's not going to trust that because of who he is. Why you want to be my friend? So he don't let people in the door. Right. People that probably could be good friends. He's not going to let them in the door because of everything that he went through. You know what I'm saying? So then he goes back to what he said before. I don't know how to be a friend. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So even if he needs your help, he's supposed to be Diddy. He's the billionaire. He's the this, that, and other. He's not going to tell you he needs help. You know what I'm saying?
Do you picture your name popping up anywhere else? Like, have you ever been in another situation where, you know, aside from Cassie, that you actually witnessed the physical abuse?
Well, like I said, I seen him and Kim go through it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Between him and Kim going through it, I've never really seen another woman. You know what I'm saying? I seen Kim go through it. I seen Cassie go through it. And basically, that's the only two that I seen go through it. And if you watch a lot of these interviews or you watch a lot of these lawsuits, it's not about abuse no more. It's about being drugged and sexual. So I've seen sexual things as far as different women and stuff like that, but I've never seen the dropping of a pill or anything like that. I'm looking at it as, yo, he's Diddy. It's a bunch of people in here. Now, how he got is the question that's being asked now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about them. Nobody has came forward and said that he was physically abusive. Everybody that's coming forward now is saying that I was drugged. And that's the part that I have the problem with, saying that you was drugged, but you enjoyed it and you had a good time, because nobody I seen woke up in the morning and looked at the straw. Because I would take them down, yo, make sure she get in the car. Right. Or yo, can you go drop her off? Or something like that. And I feel like I would have been able to detect that look. Like, I just need to talk to somebody or something. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see none of that. I seen everybody that was happy-go-lucky when they was leaving. You know what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, he's not walking them downstairs. He's not going to be the one drop them off. He's not going to be the one that walk them to the car. But like I said, we live together. So it might be like, oh, can you walk her to the car, yo? Take her out to the lot. So I've never seen nobody like, and I look at them because they were some fine girls, you know, so I'm going to look. I never seen no black eyes or no blood. The only ones that I seen them go through that was Cassie and Kim.
And rest in peace to Kim.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Wow. You know, I'm sitting here listening to it. I'm like, there's a lot going on, and there's obviously a lot of there's a lot of stories, but I can't imagine that it was all bad, right? Like I gotta think that, you know, Diddy is Diddy for a reason, right? I believe the way you paint yourself and the way you speak of your life and your upbringing, I believe there's a reason that you were loyal to Diddy for so long. There had to be good about him.
Nah. There's great about him. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at everything that I've been through, and I look at what he's been through, and you know, to say, like I said from the beginning of my conversation, when you from the street, you love hard. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you love your dude. Like, yo, I love him. You know what I'm saying? You can't live with somebody and stay with somebody for that long and don't say you love them. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like it's real. Like, when you on private jets, you in these cities and you in these countries with nobody but y'all too. You know what I'm saying? It's been times where, you know, Diddy might have to go to some type of program or some type of rehab or something. Who's going? I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm going to go sit inside a resort for a week while he go through the rehabilitation stuff and all that. Because he's tried to get help times for certain things. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, okay, I got your back. To me, those are things that you love about a person. You know what I'm saying? When you escape, like it was the time when Suge, right? And I was sitting in front of the Beverly Hills Hotel and I seen Suge pull up and I hit my man. I said, yo, you know Suge getting ready to come in. And I watched Diddy, man. I watched him. And this was when I was like, yeah, that's my man. You know what I'm saying? Because he stepped right to Suge. He said, yo, what's good? And then him and Suge started talking. Suge said, nah, B, that was years ago. I ain't got no problem with you. I'm out here trying to do shit for the kids. You know what I'm saying? So Puff introduced us, you know what I'm saying? And Puff said, yo, B, I heard you was talking some shit about me, yo. And he said, nah, man. And Puff stood there and he said, yo, man, no matter what goes on next week, he said, you know that me and you was here today and we seen eye to eye on this. And we know no matter what, that what happened. And he said, nah, you right. So it's things like that and moments like that where I was like, yeah, that's my man. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many different things, man. It's like Christmas time, it's trips. And then it's times where you see the vulnerability. When a person gets sick, it's been times where I had to carry him into the hospital. You know what I'm saying? To me, those are things that meant everything. But to him, you learn that it's just part of the job. You know what I'm saying?
Like if you were just an employee, you didn't really value him. You didn't care. You know, it's just like you did it because it's your job and because I'm paying you to do it.
Exactly.
And which is what you see a lot from people that have a problem trusting.
Right.
You know, so it is tough, right? You see that, but there is a side. There's a world out there that believes that that's enough. He paid you.
Right.
And what else does he need to do for you? What do you want him to do? You know, hold your hand throughout your life and take care of all your situations.
Yeah, but he don't pay you for the extracurricular. If my job was from 9 to 5, I would agree everything. I would agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
But when you sitting in the studio,
you gotta agree with me. There's the critics out there.
Yeah, the critics.
Yeah.
I would go for that if that's what it was. But when you got to get right, you know what I'm saying? Because it's 100 dudes outside and it's just you and him, or it's just you and your man and him, that's extracurricular.
Absolutely.
You know
Has there ever been a situation where you saved his life?
I wouldn't say save his life. I wouldn't know that because his life is he's still living.
Yeah.
So I would never know if I actually saved it. You know what I'm saying? Was I ready to die? Of course. You know what I'm saying? It was my man Ray Daniels, right? He had just DM'd me and he said, yo, Bonds, he said, man, I remember we was in 112. And he said,
112.
Yo, he said 50 BMF dudes came in there. And at this time, this was when Puff had a little problem with them because of the Wolf situation. And he said, yo, you stood in front of him, yo. He said, yo, it was just you and him. And he said, you stood in front of him 10 toes down. He said, this ain't nothing somebody telling me, Bonds. He said, this is what I seen. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't know if I saved his life because I don't know what would have happened. You know what I'm saying? It's been situations when certain individuals was outside. I don't know if I saved his life, but I know that I was willing to lose mine. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that was more important than anything.
Absolutely. That's definitely a big deal. You know what I mean? To be there for someone, and we don't know what would have happened.
We don't know.
Probably did save his life, right? There's a lot of times that just an ass whooping could take someone's life.
Right.
You know, and the way it escalates after that, that's when the knives and the guns get pulled out.
Man, let's get this shit straight, because I can't understand. Everyone got all of these gay rumors about Diddy. I don't know what is true and what is right, but these guys are gonna come out and say that Diddy sexually assault them, Diddy drugged them, he forced them to do some shit, do gay orgies, and Diddy be taping these ninjas. So I don't know. Diddy got a weird fetish He be in the room watching the guys bang his chick. He be directing that shit, telling them what to do. Man, this guy was really on some timing, man. And these guys was smashing some of the baddest broads in the industry. Some hot chick. So when I check everything what is going on, it was just karma coming for Diddy, man. So a lot of people were saying that Diddy's a devil, he's evil, he been doing wrong for a long time, and Justin Bieber got smashed. There, we heard a lot of shit, but allegedly they said that Diddy clapped Meat Mill cheeks. A lot of these rappers, French Montana, allegedly sitting on Diddy's lap. So I don't know, man. All of these gay shit that they be coming out with, I just can't believe. It's just a no-brainer to me, because all of this shit is weird and wild. And he taped all of these celebrities, and then he used it to blackmail all of these artists, get them to do all type of weird shit, get them to do deals. So this shit is just kind of crazy when I really check it out. But Little Rod, that was the craziest shit I ever heard. Sometime he go to bed, girls are in the bed, next time he's awake, Diddy's in the bed, and he's smiling with you, and your manhood has been violated, and you did not do shit. You did not wobble to the kitchen, get a knife, defend yourself, do something, ninja. Because no way you were around Diddy so long, helping him making the Love album, and you did not do shit. And you've been assaulted every day. And now you got those sore cakes forever. So I understand what is going on, man. Diddy promised most of these people a lot of things, and he did not fulfill the promise. And they got so much belief in Diddy. So they do all of this shit because they wanted to be accepted. They wanted to be stars. They want to be billionaires. But there are a lot of things that you gotta do so that you can reach on top. Either you sell your soul, you sacrifice someone, you have to do something if you want to be in the top 3 or the top 5. Because these people did a lot of shit. They got a lot of skeletons in the closet that are coming out. But I know that Cassie was the worst nightmare for Diddy. Diddy thought that he saw a ghost when Cassie was on that stand and talking her shit. So Diddy was shocked out of his mind. He never believed that Cassie would be the one to contribute to his downfall. So this shit was just crazy to me, man. But it is what it is, man. It's OB Media. Have a blessed day.
I guess I'm not so crazy after all, huh? Yeah, the Diddy doc is out. Y'all watched it. Now it's, oh, Jaguar. Oh, we should have believed you. I've been told y'all this stuff. Y'all want to watch a little Netflix documentary by 50, and now y'all believe me. Diddy did them freak-offs on Biggie's death anniversary because he's trying to open up a portal. He needs to collect souls for a portal to hell because that's where he going. Come on. Sean Combs, Catacombs. And then he got the Mexican son helping him with his evil deeds. 50 Cent just wants the crown to be the top rap mogul. He don't care for real. He about his bag. He coming for Jay next. Vivica told y'all he was collecting souls and sacrificing them to Hades. We all knew that. 4 years not enough. 4 years not enough. He need to be in there forever. Put him under the jail. Epstein Island? No, Gullah Gullah Island. Why you think that frog was so big? Diddy had them girls in South Carolina. The Gullah Geechee, yes. I was there. I was there with the girls.
Okay, if you was there, why you ain't help them? Why you ain't help the girls?
No, I was helping. I was handing out baby wipes. I did my part. I tried.
Diddy is not a freak, okay? The people who worked with Diddy were not freaks. They were not having a freak off. These people were monsters, vile predators doing something that should be unspeakable, unthinkable. You don't get charges for racketeering, assault, trafficking, just because you're a little freaky, just because you like to do adult things in an adult way. You get those charges because you're doing something heinous. In his 14-page indictment, people are caught up on how much baby oil was confiscated from his property. What people aren't talking about was the amount of IV drips that were confiscated from the property, because he was assaulting these people, these women, to the point of dehydration. He was drugging and assaulting them to the point of medical dehydration. That's not freaky. That's evil. That is violent. That is so degrading and debasing to other human beings. And it wasn't just him. He couldn't pull this off by himself. Do you know how many people had to be in on this for it to go on for as long as it has? Do you get that? Do we understand that? We talk about it all the time when these powerful men come down, their enterprises come down, that it's something they can't do alone. They're not doing this by themselves. I hear the jokes and the memes now talking about the baby oil, ha ha ha, no Diddy, none of that. Put a pin in it. Because what happened here is disgusting. It is vile. It is violent. And we need to start treating these actions and these men as such instead of always trying to make them into a